time for a spring garden tour, and I would love to show you all the things that I have planned to harvest in summer. I have grown a load of potatoes, I have got spinach, I have got carrots. I'm so excited. They're going to be harvested in summer, some of them, and some of them I'll probably be able to harvest in the next few weeks. So come along with me and enjoy my garden tour. My name is Bridget and this is the Sherwood Urban Farm. I'm sitting here next to my gooseberry bush, which I didn't want here in the first place. This one has been here for 2 years and I had planned to take it out because look what it does. It just falls over everything. But it has so many fruits on it that I'm just going to leave it here and just sacrifice the Swiss chard that's under here. I've also got some thyme that's stuck underneath here. I feel sorry for it, but I do have a whole little hedge of thyme over there. So I thought, you know what, let's just leave it because it's producing, it wants to be here. So anything that wants to survive in this garden, I don't have to nurture it along, it can stay. I'm here under my lemon tree, which is such an amazing tree. I actually wish it was oranges. It just fruits all year round. I mean, have a look at this. These ones are still small. There's others that are much bigger. However, I do have the problem that it casts shade on this bed right here. So I have to choose very nicely what I want to plant here. I've chosen now to put in some beetroot, and then along with the beetroot I've got some more giant pansies which I grew from seed. I'm very chuffed with myself for doing that because those tiny seeds I often struggle to get those to germinate. There are still some spinach, baby spinach in between, which I want to actually go to seed, and then I want to gather those seeds. I'm hoping so in between the beetroot I do have spinach, which is from winter's growing season, and then I've planted along the fence an orange cherry. It's not really a cherry, I think it's a cocktail tomato, which I saved seed from. My friend gave me a whole variety of different colors and they are growing so well here. I'm very impressed. At least now, as the summer is coming on, or as we're getting closer to summer, the sun is able to get in here. Right underneath the lemon tree I have more Swiss chard, and I've left the nasturtiums because they're just such a joy and they bring so much color to the garden, and then they help with the pollinators as well. You often see bees in there. My plan is to grow comfrey underneath the lemon tree. That just the whole bed is just of the comfrey because I really actually struggle to grow most things under here, although the chard is doing pretty well. And it is a bit of a waste of space, but I think the lemon tree is taking up most of the nutrients under this in this bed. I also have in pots, I have to still fill in what I want to grow in there. I have got some calendula. They're still so tiny, but they grow relatively fast. I'm quite happy with them. And then I have strawberries in the one pot and one lone little onion. This bed over here has got snap peas in, which I planted and didn't really have much hope for. I harvested some peas from the raised bed and I popped them in, and I really didn't think that they were going to do very well because usually later on in the winter season then I don't have great success with snap peas, but here they are and they're actually doing quite well. There's probably one or two plants, but it's nice to snack on when you're in the garden. And then I'm pretty disappointed with these onion that I planted here. I bought them as seedlings and they are the red onions, and most of them have gone to flower. We've had these odd hot days on and off. That could be a problem. The other problem could also be that they maybe not getting enough water. So I'm making a concerted effort to water those that are still here, but I see some of them are still going to flower, which is very disappointing. But the ones that I'll show you over there, the ones that I have planted from seed myself or grown from seed myself, they are doing really well. They're starting to bulb up already as well. I'm not sure, maybe these red onions are long day onions. So it's warming up and they're thinking, okay, we should actually be flowering. I'm not sure. But it is pretty disappointing because red onions are quite expensive in the shop, so it would have been nice to have harvested. I've already chucked into the compost probably about 30 or 40 ones that have gone to flower. In this bed over here, I've planted the Chaumelia kale. Those are those big tree-looking kale. They grow well in my garden. I'm very happy with them. They do get attacked by aphids every now and then, but it's not such a big train smash as those little frilly ones. They are impossible to keep the aphids off of them, and they get into all the little folds and stuff, and oh my hat, it's just such a mission. And then, I'm always talking about sticking things in where you've got space. So this looks like I stuck these carrots in where I had a little bit of space. I did originally have rows, but then a cat came and dug that up. And I think to give the cats a bit of a break, I think my rabbit also got in here and he did some of his own digging. So these are the ones that I've just got left in this bed now. This gigantic lettuce seems to be some kind of like a cross-pollinated lettuce that came up in the garden, and I really liked it. It had these huge leaves. So I think, so what I want to do is I want to save the seed of it, and then I prefer to have a lettuce that is going to maybe be one plant but give big leaves, so then I don't need as many lettuce plants, because we don't really eat that much lettuce in our house. And along the wall, I'm so impressed. I didn't think I was going to get this many blossoms as what we have here, because I pruned it back quite harshly. You'll look, I did a little short on how to prune it, but I am so impressed. I think we're going to get a fair amount. I don't know if I'll be able to make jam or cordial with them, but it still will be nice to snack on in the garden. I've increased my growing space by planting my potatoes in buckets. I haven't planted all of them in buckets. You'll see now I have got a bed with potatoes as well. And these are seed potatoes. This is the first time I'm growing with seed potatoes. I'm really impressed. Obviously, the proof will be when I chuck them out of this bucket, and then we'll see how many potatoes I get. Because it isn't cheap. I mean, seed potatoes are not cheap. So you got to kind of weigh it up. Is it going to be worth your while? But I'll show you just now where I planted seed potatoes and where I planted other potatoes, and then there's quite a difference. And in amongst the other pots that I've got, I have blueberries. I have 3 varieties of blueberries. One there under the lemon tree, and then I have one here and one here by this bench. Now, the blueberries, they say that you need to have different varieties so that they can cross-pollinate and so on. Anyway, so that's why I've got them. I'm hoping to still get lots of blueberries. That one is doing very well. I'm very impressed with that. And then in this bed, I have got of my last that I'm going to grow this for summer. I don't grow beetroot in summer because I find that they really just struggle along. Eventually they just go to seed and then you don't get any beetroot. But over the cooler months, I have grown the most amazing beetroot this last growing season, and even now still. I mean, let's have a look here. I'll pull out these ones. They're not massive. It's probably just bigger than a golf ball size, but this is just right for me. I bottle it with, instead of using vinegar, I use my lemons. I squeeze out the lemons and then I add some sugar, and then I have got coriander seeds from the garden. And last night we tried it for the first time. Oh my hat, it was amazing. It just isn't so very vinegary as what you would get the shop ones, but it's just so nice to know that you've grown it yourself and there's no preservatives or whatever. Homegrown. Can't beat that. And then in amongst all of this, I still have some of those red onions that I was talking about. They haven't gone to flower yet. I'm hoping that they won't. It looks a bit like they might start bulbing now. And then I have got 4 chili plants in here. They are doing so well. These are actually overwintered. I didn't even prune them. I thought, oh well, sink or swim, whatever. And here they are. So I'm hoping to make another batch of chili and gooseberry chutney. Wow, that is also amazing. Even my son, he even eats it. And then I still haven't planted up the dragon fruit that I got from the ladies there in the Elands River. I need to get a pot, and now it seems like it's getting some kind of a disease, but it shot out 2 branches. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I don't think I'll be seeing any fruit from that this season at all. So in our part of the world, citrus seems to grow really well. I have sort of given up on my peach tree a bit and the plum tree. I don't think we do well with stone fruit in this part of the world, but citrus. Take a look at this clementine. We call them nachis in South Africa. It has still got some blossoms, but it is full of little clementines. I don't know, I must maybe do some research if one should thin it out, but I feel bad to do that. Even these bottom shoots have got blossoms on it. And then I've just planted the pot up with some more pansies. And then these nasturtiums they're such a joy. Like I said earlier, they cross-pollinate and they make the most beautiful colors in their flowers. There's this one with a yellow, and then it's got these like orangey red streaks to it. Just beautiful. Now in this bed, I have got onions, which I lifted out of my raised bed. What happened with the raised bed is I filled it up, and then over a couple of months, it dropped about this much. So the onions were like sort of down in the depths over there, and they were still alive, but I've lifted them and I've put them in this bed over here, intercropped with, there's still some random carrots in here, and then I've got some, these are cocktail tomatoes, and I think they are like a black color tomato, so I'm excited to see what they are going to do. Take a look at my cool trellis, guys. I'm so chuffed with this. I want to make another 2 of them. Yeah. And I love to grow tomatoes like this. I love to grow them that they are a single lead, and then you just pull off all the side shoots and also the lower leaves, and then they just grow up here. I find the fruit is much better that way, and I can manage it better, and therefore I can also put in a whole bunch of different varieties. Because if I have them just falling everywhere, then it takes up so much space. In this way, it doesn't take up a lot of space. These are cherry tomatoes. No. These are cocktail tomatoes, and they are taken from cuttings from the tomatoes in the greenhouse. Now, those tomatoes in the greenhouse are quite funny because they were some of the seeds had fallen on the ground in the greenhouse and started sprouting. And then I felt sorry for them and I potted them up, and there they are, and they are fruiting already, like abundantly. So of those side shoots, I took those and I rooted them, and that's what we have here. There are 10 plants here. And then there's in between this, I've got some more of these are the Texas Grande onions, which I also lifted out of the raised bed, which you see, because I'm going to fill that raised bed up, so I had to move them. Anyways, I put them in here, and you can already see they're starting to come up. They were flopping over in there because they just weren't getting enough light. I have left this borage. Borage can be quite messy and fall all over the place, so a lot of the branches which were growing into the path I've already removed. But the bees, there are just tons of bees. They love it so much, so I leave it here. It is actually stunting the growth of this poor tomato plant here, but I'll leave it in here for another week or so, and then I'm going to pull it out. With my bananas, here they still are. I'm really hoping to get bananas this year. I really am hoping. We'll see how that goes. And then here's another pot of those hypertufa bowls. I made a hypertufa bowl if you look back in one of the videos. So I've got them all over the garden, and this has also got strawberries in them. And the strawberries, they haven't started fruiting yet because these ones, they have to grow a little bit bigger. But the strawberries that I've got in the pots over there, they have already started fruiting, and they seem to be of a different variety. So and because their leaves are big, and they're giving us some nice strawberries over there. Here we've got, I just called them big tomatoes. It was from tomatoes from the store, and I kept some of the seed. They're growing so well. And I don't know if I've made a mistake, but I have intercropped them with sweet corn. I needed to stick the sweet corn in somewhere, and I just thought, let's see how this goes. So if I'm going to trail them up or trellis them up like this, it should be fine. Oh, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And then I have some rosa lettuce in between it, it works quite well to keep almost like a living mulch, which you can eat. And then here I have a row of Nantes carrots. Along the wall, I had some extra beetroot again, so I've popped those in, and some more borage, and then some more pots with potatoes in it. Right, so here is my potato bed. I had planted potatoes all the way. Now this side, this was sort of like a bit of a trial. So on this side is seed potatoes, and here were shop potatoes. And as you can see, they're no longer here. They all died. They rotted. Except one. There's one, no, two. There's two. And the others got this blackleg rot. So I really am, and at this stage, I'm in favor of seed potatoes as opposed to just taking shop potatoes, which have, sort of just chitted out. This is also another example of intercropping. Underneath these potatoes, I've got lettuce growing. It's the little rosa lettuce that came up by themselves, and then I just transplanted them here. But they keep the soil nice and moist. Along the wall, I have long day onions and short day onions. And there's a distinct difference between the long day onions and the short day onions, because the short day onions are already starting to bulb up and they're looking grand. In my bed here, this is my sweet corn bed. It's done really well previously. And then I have got some spinach there, or Swiss chard. So along the fence I have the granadilla or passion fruit. And then underneath I've now planted some more of these Cape gooseberries. This was supposed to be my Cape gooseberry alley. And then I wasn't going to have those down there, but like I said, they're already fruiting so well. Just incredible to me to see the effect that the sunlight has on plants. I mean, just the growth. They were all planted at the same time, and that one is probably 4 times the size of this plant. Incredible. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I really hope you enjoyed my garden tour. Let me know what you're growing for summer in your vegetable garden in the comments below, and I will see you next time.